Oh, hello, everyone. Hello. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. I'm Jack Bigadoo, also known as the Hood Sommelier. And today we are going to New York. You know, I've been training all week just to say that New York. If you never had a New York whiskey, today you're going to hear about one of those distillery, those craft distillery that started underground, just like anything that started in New York and finally blew up. Everybody knows about it now. They make one of the most unique whiskeys on the market. And like I said in when I was posting about this, you cannot talk about craft distilling. We cannot have conversation about craft distillery without mentioning this distillery. We're talking about no other than Kings County Distillery, right here. Kings County. Kings County Distillery. I could have talking to the master distiller. I could have talking to the founder, owners, all these people, but I said no. Let me bring my sister in because I heard she's the one who gave the tours there, have people try whiskey, teach them about whiskey and all the things. And I like whiskey lovers to tell me about whiskey versus probably whiskey makers. So, ladies and gentlemen, uh, please allow me to introduce you to Kelsey from Kings County. So many K's. Welcome.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Jack. How you doing?
Hey, another day in paradise. I'm excited because we are talking about New York. We are talking about the home of hip hop, the home of the Empire Ride, the home of a lot of things
Yeah.
started in New York. When I was in Africa as a baby, the Empire State Building and Lady Liberty was those two things that you always see in every movie. So I was like, that's where I need to come to. So today we're in New York. If you're here, if you're joining us from Facebook, from YouTube, or from LinkedIn for all the people in suits, make sure you actually give us a thumbs up, a like, a comment, a share. We'll appreciate everything. I'm sure Kelsey will appreciate it. King County will
Absolutely.
appreciate this. Kelsey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm actually very excited to be here. I was so happy when you reached out. So I'm excited to tell you about the glory of Kings County Distillery.
You know what? I can't wait to learn more about it. I'm
Yeah.
sharing this right now in all the group. The people in Canada, people in Nebraska, people
Nice.
in, so everybody can know about Kings County, God
Yes.
willing, so they can actually go and
Yeah, we love people to come visit.
explore the let the palette explore a little more. So if you hear and you following us, make sure you share, like, give us a thumbs up, beep, 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 and we would love to have you here. Kelsey, introduce yourself to the folks. Who are you? What do you do? And give us a little bit of historic on Kings County Distillery.
All right. So I'm Kelsey Kuntz. Nice to see everybody, even though it's live. So I am the head tour guide here. So I do a lot of the tours, tastings here, and just a brand ambassador for Kings County. So there's nowhere I go in the city where I'm probably not talking about Kings County. I have a little pin on one of my jackets, as you can see. Oh, this side, sorry. Rep your set. So I'm the head tour guide here. We're located in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Right near the Wegmans if you ever need a trademark spot. But
Mhm.
we are in Brooklyn Navy Yard, and we are actually one of the best parts about Kings County is where we are located. So this area that we're in used to be called Irish Town, and this is where the Brooklyn Whiskey Wars took place. So people fighting against the excise tax and, fight for the moonshine and their distilling, all of that happened right where the actual distillery is sitting, as well as our castles up front. So it's a lot of rich history where we're at. So we are New York City's first whiskey distillery since Prohibition. We do all of our distilling here. We bottle, blend, do all of it here right in Brooklyn. So
Wow.
lovely place. And it's just beautiful here. It's nice.
Brooklyn,
It's more, as you
Brooklyn
can
in
see
the
right behind me. Say it again.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn is definitely in the house. Call me Jay-Z, you got Biggie, everybody. So Brooklyn has a lot of rich history, and it's really great to be here when the distillers are making the whiskeys. Because right now they were distilling, and I can still smell it upstairs. So
Absolutely.
it is a beautiful smell. It's a beautiful location, full of wonderful people and staff. So It's a great place to be.
All right, give us a little bit of the history of it. When did they start distilling?
Yeah, so our founder, Colin Spillman. He has his start. He's actually from Harlan County, Kentucky, which was a dry county. So he was very interested in moonshine and its development, and why it was kept a secret, and kind of in the cut ways you got to go to get moonshine. So when he moved up here to Brooklyn, he would bring up jugs of Kentucky hooch with him and pass it out at Brooklyn parties. And everybody loved it, raving about it, excited about it. And, he was not only trying to, there it is, the big jug. He was not only trying to just show, what really happens when you take a great grain and make a great grain of glass spirit, but sharing it just to get some of those negative connotations around moonshine. People hear moonshine, you think back alley poison, bathtub stuff, don't touch it, you'll go blind. And that's really not, it can be those things, but that's not what real craft moonshine is about. So he was very interested in that, got a hobby still and started distilling in his apartment, 100% illegal, by the way. But, it was still causing a lot of good buzz, and, he's really perfecting his craft. And so, as you know, it's been very difficult before the farm distiller's license to actually obtain a distillery and do all the distilling. So got his license, and Kings County opened in this tiny little warehouse, the smallest one as the smallest operating distillery in the nation at the time. Started distilling there in East Williamsburg, and then we moved it over here to the Brooklyn Navy Yard in 2012.
All right.
2012.
2012, he started from I love to call it. I'm from Africa. I love moonshiners. That's what I've loved growing up. Before I started drinking what they call the white man spirit, but moonshine was what we had for celebration, marriage, any moment of life requiring moonshine. So knowing that whiskey history is based on medicine, so moonshine is always used for medicine, to cure folks. He started distilling.
Yeah, that's actually what brought me to. Sorry, I was going to tell you. You made a good point. That's what actually brought me to Kings County Distillery. I'm a native New Yorker, but my family is from the South. So moonshine is just all in and out, the heritage, the culture. And so we call it corn whiskey and moonshine. Right. And so that's my first introduction really to like liquor. And so when I saw there was a craft whiskey distillery in Brooklyn doing this, and I did a virtual tasting, and I got a sample, and I was like, this is delicious. So I tried to just volunteer here at first, and then it was still during the pandemic, and so they were not making whiskey at the time. And then when they reopened to do so, here I am as a tour guide. So
absolutely.
That's how I got here.
How did he start distilling first? What did he start producing first?
So moonshine came first. You're a new distillery, you don't have any aged products. So It started with the moonshine and the flesh. And then it went into the chocolate whiskey, which was like a flavored spirit, but it was an infusion mostly. So it's an infusion of, that, excuse me. I'm sorry.
You got all those yeast in the distillery.
Sorry. But it's an infused spirit. So we took the husk of the cocoa bean, and that's what we infused the moonshine with. So that was like, you had our unaged white whiskey that can introduce to the people, the community, to say, hey, look how great moonshine can be as a standout product. Our basis is really trying to show like you can have a really good unaged whiskey. Age does not mean it's going to be better or is this, more expensive, whatever the case may be. You can have a really good base whiskey that's not aged.
Absolutely. So, I can see the evolution of it. We are now down where we are commercializing it. What does he put out first as his first official whiskey on the market?
So after the moonshine, so it was a straight bourbon. So that was like our first aged spirit. So that is just your introduction to, hey, we've done the moonshine, and now we have a aged spirit that we can share to show how our moonshine grows into a beautiful whiskey.
Well, this is the straight bourbon.
So
this straight bourbon is 45% ABV.
So 80% corn from the Finger Lakes region of New York and 20% malted barley from the UK. So
is kind of the first thing you put on the market is your bourbon, straight bourbon. You say 80% corn?
Yes.
All right. How old is this product?
So the straight bourbon, ours is at minimum 3 years.
Okay.
So we're around that age.
So as far as distillation is concerned, I see you guys have multiple product. Tell me a little bit about the madness behind the distillation. Is it bourbon day? Is it single malt day? How is that structured?
Yes. So we distill 6 times a week. So I think Sundays are the only days we're not distilling. So yes, it's running. We have 2 pot stills. One name is Dumbo. The other one's name is Maeve. So we'll have our bourbon day. We'll do our peated bourbon, and then we'll do, whatever is on the agenda for that week.
Okay.
So, yep, copper pot stills. So that's where that beautiful smell that I was talking about earlier, that's where that's coming from.
Three years old. What, you say New York corn?
Yep, New York, from Finger Lakes region of New York. Yep.
Okay. It has a spice to it.
Yeah.
It has a spice to it. It has nose is creamy. You can get those creamy nose, a little bit of that cinnamon up.
Mm-hmm.
It has a little of that hit of ginger, almost anise spice.
Yeah, just have a little hit of spice. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because it's only 45% ABV. I was expecting it to be soft, mellow, and a little more on the corny side, but you're getting more on that. A little bit of that. It has a little attitude. That's what I want to say.
A little attitude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. On the nose it's still a little grainy. That's the best way I can put it. It's a little grainy. Smell a little young on the nose, but the creaminess definitely is coming through from that corn. And is how much, is there any rye in it at all? Is it 80% corn?
So that's what we started with. So when we did the moonshine, 80-20. When we did the bourbon, so our thing is you have a really good moonshine with that recipe. It's going to grow into a beautiful aged spirit.
80% corn, 20% rye.
No, 20% malted barley.
Malted barley.
No rye in our straight bourbon. No others, just corn and the malted barley.
It's like this ginger note that is on here.
Yeah.
That I don't know where it's coming from. If I didn't know any better, I'd be like, there is some rye in this. But no.
No, we actually did it on purpose. So our straight bourbon is, we were trying to really stand out from the other types of bourbons that was on the market.
Right,
When you go to Kentucky, there's like some rye, there's some maybe some wheat in there. And it was like, nope, just corn, barley.
Okay. All right. So corn, barley, different style of making whiskey, obviously, which sets you apart on the market. But I don't think your bourbon is what you're known for.
Hear with that?
I say I don't think your bourbon is what you're known for, because when I heard about Kings County, it was not bourbon.
How'd you hear? What was that brought you to us?
The funny thing was your single malt, and it was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting because I've heard a lot of people talk about Kings County, and I was like, okay, what is happening there? I wasn't sure what was going on, and I knew it was New York, but I'm like, okay. But a lot of people talk about your single malt. I'm like, okay, what is happening? What is happening there? But I'm gonna let you run me through the journey, because bourbon is there. It's 80-20. You guys are pulling out 45, almost 3 years old. But then I see here you have also a blended bourbon.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the blended bourbon.
All right, so you want to go to blended next?
You tell me.
Well, you've mentioned it, so we're going to go blended next.
Okay.
All righty. So blended is an American blended whiskey, and it's actually a style of American whiskey that we were excited to see thriving again and coming back. Blended spirits usually like noticed with like Canadian whiskeys or Scotch, but it was a way to just really stand out and say, hey, you can bring this style with American whiskeys too, and they can blend beautifully together. So this one is bourbon dominant too, about 60% bourbon. There's some rye in this one, and there's some other malt mash in here. So we call this one our whenever whiskey.
Blended bourbon, if there is, or is it different mash of bourbon that was blended?
So it's straight bourbon, but they're coming from different ages. So like a good 40+% of it is off the 53-gallon barrels. That's 2 years. The other 20+ plus, I think it's 23%, is off of 53 that is aged between 3 and 4 years. So it's age difference between those
The
bourbons.
malt is permanent. It is like pronounced here. I
Mhm.
can I can now like get the malt on the because for me malt on a whiskey remind me of cookie dough slash just bread, right?
Right.
Bread and- So on the bourbon, I did not get that at all, which was I was a little concerned. But on here, I really can tell that there is some malt on here.
Yeah, because bourbon, the one was like really grain for. I mean, it's a lot of corn, a lot of
Mhm,
corn there,
mhm,
so
mhm.
it's in those traditional grain pickups. That's what you're looking for.
This was my expectation when I was having it. A 3-year-old whiskey, majority more corn malt. You get a
Hmm.
little bit of that kick, 43% ABV.
Hmm.
This meet exactly my expectation. It's like, okay, this is what it should taste like. That's what it should be. You get a little bit of those. I like to call it a little bit of that corn bread kind of cornbread
Cornbread,
type.
yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
cornbread nose, beautiful cornbread, a little creamy, and on the goes down easy. Mouthfeel is simple, a little bit of sweetness on front, set on the back. No long, nothing, no long finish. Perfect to the point. That was my expectation.
Yeah. So, and that's what we call this one our whenever whiskey. So this is for
Mhm,
everybody. So if you're new
mhm.
to whiskey drinking, you're seasoned, you want a cocktail or you just want to have a little neat sipper, put it on ice, whichever it is, this will give you that complexity, that mouthfeel, that body. This one to me takes you on a journey.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now I'm alive. I thought when I was like, okay, maybe my taste buds were not on point to
No,
this.
you're good. We're gonna take it through a journey. Got some
Mhm,
more coming.
mhm. So I will let you tell me from the success you've seen from your bourbon and is it bourbon that you guys did first, or did you introduce multiple products on the market?
Yeah, so after the moonshine came to straight bourbon, so we were
Mhm,
really focused on bourbons, and
mhm.
that's where Bread and Butter was at. So it was still again ode to the moonshine because we still wanted to let consumers in the community know that you can still have a great unaged whiskey. This is how the other things it can grow into. So you
Correct.
can have this beautiful straight bourbon. You can take some other grains and mix some other whiskeys and make this beautiful blended bourbon.
Correct.
So then we even dabbled into the peated bourbon. So
Which I
peated
saw
bourbon,
here. What is that?
yeah. So our peated bourbon has an interesting story. So we're trying to make regular bourbon,
Okay.
straight bourbon, and then we were out of our malted barley. So
Okay.
when the distillers was like, "Hey, can I just put some peated malted barley in this one?" So that we were going to use for single malt. So it was just like, sure. And then we made the peated bourbon, and we are actually, to our knowledge, first in country to do so with peated bourbon.
Really?
So we made that one, and then here comes this beautifully full-bodied, creamy peated bourbon.
Peated bourbon.
Hmm. So this one is 75% corn, 25% peated malted barley. Still very corn dominant.
Very corn dominant.
Hmm.
I get no peat at all
Hmm.
on the nose, but you get a little faint of peat. The almost is a little
Yeah, it's
faint.
not overpowering. It's not
It's
like a
not overpowering.
big
It's not
punch to the
something
face.
that will chase you away
Yeah.
when it comes to beer. I mean, I love peated whiskey. I drink Octomore and all those. So
Hmm.
I love peated whiskey, but this does not have that. I like to call it. That burnt grass slash grilled burnt
Yeah.
end. You're not getting any of those. You
No,
know,
this is like that soft
no,
campfire.
yeah,
Hmm.
just a little bit of that soft decay. I like to call it of
Yeah, and
green.
that's what we wanted something very approachable, which is how we treat all our spirits.
Mhm.
Approachable, enjoyable, but complex in a way that's still enjoyable.
Okay, all right. So this is 45% ABV as well, just like your original bourbon.
Correct.
I see what happened here. I see what happened here. I can see what happened. This is the perfect middle between the person that love peated whiskey, like peated single malt, and don't want too much of that malt, but just want to enjoy something that is this those tobacco notes that
Mhm.
come through. This is the perfect pour for cigar smokers
Oh, mhm.
because those tobacco notes, those sweet dry raisin tobacco notes that are coming through are just are there. If you don't like tobacco note or a little bit of that hint of dark chocolate, you're not going to like this whiskey. But if you love darker notes in your whiskey, a little more of those little smoke, you know, that oak, that breadiness, but definitely more into more into that those tobacco kind of drier note, you actually will enjoy this whiskey. I mean, if you're a cigar smoker, this whiskey will taste to you like water, almost like a little sweet water, because those tobacco note will be gone, and you can truly enjoy it.
This is the one on tours when people are trying this one. This one wins over the Scotch lovers.
Correct.
So, a lot of times, a lot of people drink Scotch. They kind of not really go towards bourbon because it's way too sweet. And this one was the one that's like, oh, this is how you do it if you're gonna put in some of those.
If
Yeah,
I did not know, I probably would not think it's corn.
yeah.
I would definitely say it was a single malt for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'll be like, oh, it's a single malt that maybe had a little bit was finished right in peat, but the corniness for me will probably will throw me off because it'll be like oh, this probably is an interesting finish. That's what I would have said on a single malt. But this now you got my interest. This is quite interesting as a
Yeah.
definitely how you made it. I love the approach that you guys took because you're bringing in the Scotch lovers definitely onto the side of the
Yeah,
side
and
of
even we're an American whiskey making company. We're here in Brooklyn, Navy Yard, but we still try to make sure we can have something everyone can enjoy,
correct,
internationally, local, wherever.
correct. So I definitely that is definitely innovation. I like what that happened. There is like I always tell people there's always something in a distillery for you to enjoy. It's
Hmm.
really up to you to dig deeper to look in the line because you can't just have one thing and go, I don't like it and
And then
just
drop it right.
distillery. Yeah. So I see the mindset. I see what you guys are trying to do in here. So from the blended to the peated, I see what the evolution of what you guys are trying to do. There's a certain integrity. One thing I didn't mention is your whiskey is actually very clean. I know
Very much
people
so.
is very, very clean. So
That's one of my favorite things about it. It's and that's we do everything homegrown. We don't source with anyone else. We don't blend with anyone else. We really are very passionate about grain and glass spirits. So our pot stills are beautifully crafted. It's got a nice narrow lid arm, so it gets that nice silky distillate off the still, and it shows as the ages too. So it's very clean, crisp, no flaws, nice, clean.
um a lot of distillery cannot claim to have bottle and bond products, but you guys can claim that.
We sure can.
Tell me about your bottle and bond product.
This one that you have is the 7-year one and is my favorite bottle and bond that I've had here yet. So this one
Is it one of your oldest? Sorry to interrupt. Is it one of
yes,
your oldest
yep.
products?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is one of the older size, old. So this is a 7-year one. This again, 80-20 recipe. Still at 100 proof, but it is an ode to Bottle and Bond Act, which is giving consumers transparency and information about what's in their product, who's handling it, and we take that very serious. We don't really hide
Isn't it
stuff.
ironic? The moonshiner respecting the bottle and bond.
Exactly. You respect your consumers. We want consumers to know what you're drinking, how it's handled, and so you know what you're drinking. So, and this is an ode to that. It's very transparent, which we are about all of our products. It's still the 80-20 recipe, but it is a standout product as our allocated spirit, which is sold out. So you lucky got it.
So because that was my concern. trying your whiskey, I was like, okay, I've tried the 3-year-old, right? I'll be honest, not my favorite, the younger stuff. So my question to you was, what is the oldest product that you guys have on the bourbon side on the market right now? Is it the bottle and bond?
Well, that you could get. So we just actually released, this was a hotter one. It was a 9-year. This one
Oh,
was 82 proof, 82 ABV, sorry, 82% ABV. So it was a hot one, but it was
hold
only
on, hold
available
on.
at the distillery.
Back up. But no, back up. You
Yeah.
did you just say is a
Yeah.
9-year-old at 82% ABV?
I believe that was the one that's the one that's available at the tasting room, only for pour only.
You should have just said is a 9-year-old hazmat bust bucket of fire.
Because when I talked to you, you said you've been tasting all our hot stuff.
Yeah,
Like
but
that's
that's what I'm saying. That's only how I discovered. I heard that Kings County produced the hottest whiskeys, the highest ABV whiskeys actually on the market in America right now, because I don't think any distillery got your beat yet as far as proof is concerned.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we honestly these past couple of months we have been putting out some really high proof stuff, but they have one of the great things about Kings County Spirits is that they don't drink at their proof. So while you hear that proof, it drank beautifully, super maple, super clean, beautiful spirit.
I'm loving the nose. Just a 7-year,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful corn. Now it went from corn to toffee, right? It's
Yes.
burnt now,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You get that toffee. This is what this is my expectation of a good bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Toffee note, a little bit of that cherry note, right? Coming through, a little bit of those bacon spice coming through. Beautiful, caramel, burnt sugar, sweetness on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That one, you see what we mean by the bottom bond?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Beautiful mouthfeel. Nice, Chris. You remind me of a root beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Root beer, nice, sweet. Those almost brown sugar right on the beginning. Mouthfeel, beautiful ginger note in the mid palate. Finish, settle, nice, beautiful winner.
Mm-hmm.
Winner.
That's the favorite one of the pack?
If somebody asks me, if you don't mind, what is the kind of around price of the bottle and bond?
That one was retail $149.
Okay, so if I had to advise someone to grab something immediately from Kings, I'd be like, okay, this is if you want to try their bourbon, try their bottle and bond, because for me, it's immediate winner. It's beautiful, it's crisp. I call it that caramel root beer spice medley. That's what you get there.
Yeah.
If you're used to Kentucky whiskey and you want to venture out and you don't want to go too far out the bucket, Kings County bottle and bond. That'll be my for anybody that love the wild turkey. That's what it reminded me of. When I had this pour maybe I'm like, oh, this reminds me of a nice, wild turkey 101. That that those profile notes. But I love it. I love it. This
Oh, great. Yeah, that one is also, well, we'll save my favorite one for last. But that one was the runner-up to my favorite whiskey that we make here.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So before we get into your single malt part,
yeah,
I want to talk about your single cask / single barrel program. Tell me a little bit about that, because that's how I learned about your whiskey. Is I've actually Bourbon Pursuit did a special with y'all, and a couple of my friends in New York also did a pick. And tell me a little bit about the single barrel program.
So we have an amazing person who handles that, Gabby, and we have clubs from all over New York City, all over the country, and they are, a part of getting the community to local craft distilleries and craft whiskeys as well. And so we do have some inventory where we can do that, but because we are a small craft distillery, we can't do millions of them, at every request.
Yeah.
But those type of picks are very special, very personalized, and they are invited here. They can go through the whole process with us, and it really is a special type of process that we go through for those who do get a single barrel release.
No, I love it. I love it. I've heard good things, really good things about your barrels. I think I still have one more here that's called the Hazmat Baby, I believe.
Is that the one with
let me see. Right? Yeah, with Frank and my 58 North. So it was so hot.
The doll in the back,
yeah. And the crazy doll in the back. That's as a single barrel. It was apparently the barrel was so small they couldn't even do full bottle. They had to do 375 bottles.
Right.
And this is 73.7. And it was so hot. I'm telling you right now, it couldn't even they couldn't handle the heat. Like it was one of those that I truly believe was quite interesting. As on, I'll actually pour myself one as we're talking about high proof that comes out of what we've decided. This one, entry proof was 112. Tell me a little bit about your rick house, because entry proof was 112 on this barrel. How is the exit proof 146? Absolutely, whatever is happening in your rick house is bananas. Describe that to me.
Yeah. So we don't temperature control. We just leave the windows open and
whatever happen.
Yeah. And so we have a few locations, but that is also the luck of New York City. We have really hot, humid summers, and then we have cold, bitter, dry winters. So all of that with just nothing else to it, because letting nature do its thing is how we produce some of our greatest whiskeys. And that is the perk of being in New York City. We can have a very flavorful spirit that's on the younger side, and then we can have a really hot whiskey that you wouldn't think is as hot as its proof.
Wow. Wow. I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, it makes absolutely no sense. It's really cool at the same time. Now let's get into single malt. Single malt has been something that it have been just interesting through the last 4 years now. People have been sneaking single malt on the market, and everybody's doing it the way they think is the right way. I think this year, finally, at the end of 2022, they kind of set rules around American single malt and what you can and cannot be. But I think you guys were kind of the pioneer in that way, that were doing something a little out of the pocket. I see here I have your original single malt, which is 47% ABV. Tell me a little bit about your single malt and how you're going about it.
Yeah, so I will say the single malt is a really good product that we make, and it's one of those things that keeps getting better and better with each batch. So it's some unmalted malted barley, some peated malted barley mixed in that batch. So that's the only grain in there. And I think it's one of those spirits that you can say, oh, I had a really good American single malt spirit. It doesn't have to be just a 100% barley you got from Scotch or something. You can have that here in the U.S. A little bit higher in proof.
No, this one is 40.
Really good. Yeah.
47% ABV. Do you guys have your single malt at cask strength as well?
We don't have a barrel strength single malt. Right now, we just have the one that's.
How old is it? Because that graininess is coming back again. So now,
back? Yeah. So that one's been at least 3 years too.
Okay. All right. You just what? Sorry, I forgot your head distiller, your head distiller's name. Can you remind me of his name?
So he's our master distiller. He's our founder. We have 2 distillers that are here. We have our distillery manager, Brandon, who's awesome. And they really do the nitty gritty every day.
You got to tell them that we just going to sit on the whiskey. We wait after 4. to bring it out because there's something magical that happened after 5 years on your whiskey. I know this because I can
Okay.
tell the difference immediately from being young to almost like it's almost like your whiskey go through puberty and now it becomes cool. So that's kind of how I see it. Is like it's still I can smell the youth on it when I actually have it. I'm like, it's kind of not grown yet. You know,
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah.
not a grown folk business. You know, but malt. Again, clean. There's
Mm-hmm.
something, whatever you guys are doing at that distillery, just clean, cream, crispy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, but unfortunately for me, it's a little too young.
Too young? Okay.
I
So
can
it's
taste
not
it
the
right
okay.
away. It's not the structure because
Okay.
clearly from the evolution of your whiskey, I can see clearly when it grown, it's amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and when it's young, it's good. But you know already the potential of the whiskey. Like
Okay.
I know this is gonna be good whiskey in like 2 to 3 years. It's gonna be amazing whiskey. Like I
That's
can already taste it because the crispiness, the just the beautiful. Like I feel like 4 or 5 years is just that bubbliness almost that you get
yeah.
that crispiness. Like you the style of whiskey you guys make is just A1. They say when the whiskey is gonna be good, you can taste it in the white dog, right? When the
Yeah.
whiskey is gonna be good, you can taste it in the white dog,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I feel. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like whatever you guys are putting in those barrels is so good, is amazing. So it just need to grow. It just need to be grown a little, right?
I can say, and again, everybody has their palate and their
Yeah,
preference and stuff like
I
that. But I
love
do love that.
I love whatever it is that you guys are putting in this because when I taste it, it's like it gives me joy. I
Yeah.
like it. It
Mm-hmm.
gives me joy. I just want more, a little bit more out of it because this bottle and bond right here got my heart
Yeah, that's a good
because
one.
because
Yeah.
because definitely it was mature. You can taste the maturity in it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's settled. Is going. I feel like it's settled on the nose, and so no diss to y'all at all as what you're doing. I
It's
can
okay.
taste the quality of what you're putting in. I just want I just want it to age a little
Okay.
longer so I can see what those darker fruit notes. Right now is bright, is light, is citrusy, all
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a down type of guy. Give me those bottom note,
Okay. I can see that. Okay.
those red fruit, apple, citrus, and that for me is like for beginner whiskey drinkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a sophisticated one, give me those darker note, tobacco or cherry, dark chocolate. Give me those darker notes so I can. Look, I'm talking like darker
Okay.
notes. Like, as a black man, I'm saying that. Give me those darker notes.
But I am learning more about your flavor
I
profile.
know, I know, I
Okay.
know, I know, I know, I know.
No,
You
no,
got
it's good to know.
I'm
This is the
learning about
whole reason why we do what we
yeah,
do. Because whiskey is an
yeah.
experience. Yep.
I tell people all the time. I say if you are into those lighter note, the bright, if you're somebody who like, I can see this single malt be paired perfectly with fish, right? It's like some of those
Okay.
bright
Yes,
notes,
I can
citrus
definitely
notes,
see that. Yeah.
seafood, fish, something like that. I would take this single malt and say, neat on the rocks. This will work.
Mm-hmm.
You give me steak or something red, no, it's not gonna work for
There.
me.
Okay.
So yeah. Um, Now let's talk about what I wanted to ask you about for the longest time, and what I want to hear about. Tell me about this Empire Rye business y'all got going on at Kings County.
Yes. So Empire Rye is my absolute favorite thing that we make here. So this is our ode to New York State whiskey. So before the Empire Rye, there was really like no standout staple of like a style of making New York style whiskey. And we go back to pre-prohibition. We always talk about bourbon, but rye was the original American drink of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so, being in New York State, the Empire State, we said, there's something. We're talking with other about 5 other craft distilleries, talking about how are we going to make something really stand out for the New York State. And so we can join with 5 other craft distilleries, including Black Button, Copper Seas, another one of them. And we made the Empire Rye Mash Bill. And it follows a lot of the rules of the farm distiller's license. So in this case, 75% of it must be New York State grown rye. Again, can't still past 60, must be aged in new charred oak containers for about 2 years. Those kind of strict rules and regulations can't enter the barrel at more than 115 proof. And so it was just our way to just have something that's for New York State. And so our original batch, actually, before I go there, so we use a Denko rye, which is a beautiful, light, sweet, peppered rye. Yep. And we still keep the 80-20. So a lot of, most rice comes from Indiana. So this one is a standout from New York State. And this one is a really nice, light, sweet, peppered rye, still the 80-20 recipe. So 80% Denko rye and 20% malted barley. Now, the original batch, what's your proof on that?
It's 60.6.
So you got the barrel strength one. So that's our latest batch. Now, when we first started the Empire Rye, that one was 51% ABV, which made it 102 proof. And that was also an ode to New York State because there's 102 floors in the Empire State Building. So the non-barrel proof strength is that.
Oh, 102 floor, Empire State, Empire Rye. Okay, makes sense now.
So yeah, this is for New York.
Okay, beautiful rye. For me, it reminds me of a chocolatey rye. You have those crisp red apple, beautiful. I mean, but I tell you what, y'all a contender for nose whiskey.
Yeah.
All the
Thank you.
2023. The nose on your whiskey is okay. I see what's going on here. I see what y'all are doing. Anise, clove, lilac, red apple. Yeah, it's floral and sweet at the same time. It's not just floral like most rye that are all floral. There's a little sweetness that comes through here. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
I forgot you have to drive home, right? So
you're fine, but enjoy. Yep.
Get out. You're done. You're done.
Isn't it beautiful? It is beautiful, isn't it?
You're done.
Yeah. I will sing the gospel of Empire Rye everywhere because of that reaction. It's a beautiful spirit.
Yeah. Just like, closest to 3, just make Empire Rye. Yeah.
And that's what we want to share. New York State makes some great whiskey. The Empire Rye, that's our staple.
Oh man. Get out.
Now, I have a question for you. Did it taste like it nosed?
No. I feel like there's a contrast happening. The nose draw you in with the sweetness and the floralness, so you expect it to be a little tame. But the taste is like if someone was tap dancing on your tongue, like 1,000 people were tap dancing on your tongue. That's what it feels like. It's not, the spices is not outrageous. It's more of those savory. Like I said, you guys don't have like those peppery note. You have those ginger note. That's one thing I realized, that your spice is not peppery, it's gingery. So it's still something you can handle.
Right. And the thing is, it's like that sweet pepper. It's not like a hot pepper.
Yeah. Correct. Right. It's don't. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what's going on.
So I'll tell you before, it's still my number one favorite thing that we make here, but the Bottle and Bond was right on its tail.
Yep. Dark chocolate covered cherries, clove, ginger, and nice anise finish.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. If you're a rye lover, you'll be remiss if this is not in your rotation of rice.
Mhm.
And at 60, it does not drink at 120
Yeah,
proof.
ours do not drink at its proof.
It does not drink 120 proof. I will be honest.
Mhm.
I expected a little more heat like some heat
Yeah.
out of this, but no, it does not drink 120.
Mm-mm.
How much Empire Rye do you guys produce every year?
Oh, so we do it once a year. So it usually comes out in November. Hmm. Rice season, yeah. But yeah, we do it once a year.
You know what? Let me get in my New York character.
That means you gotta come up here.
Word to my mother, if y'all don't make this twice a year, word to my mother, y'all better go on and make this. You know what? Word to my mother, if y'all don't make this twice a year, once a year, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's our one beautiful allocation that we usually top up at the end of the year.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? I'm fighting with y'all. This is
I'm
it.
glad you loved it. I thought this one was going to be your favorite. I thought it was going to be between this and the peated bourbon.
I'm telling you right now, even the peanut bourbon did not register.
Okay.
The peanut bourbon did not even register because I'm telling you, this rye took over. It literally took over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even. This is not even a joke. The rye literally
It's a mm-hmm.
instantly took over. He stand out on his own. It's beautiful. It's steady. I'm loving how it sits. Oh man, come on, now. Come on, man. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay, all right. Consider me impressed. This Empire Rye is beautiful. It's well done. It's well made. It has everything I expect. And this bottle and bond. Oh yeah, these two. Chef's Kiss, Chef's Choice, and Chef's Kiss Kid. These two are Hood Sommelier approved. This Empire Rye and this Bottle and Bond are both approved. I will tell you right now, there is a you are from African descent, so you understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's just premonitions. I tell people all the time, premonition, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is something to be seen in the future of Kings County, Kings County Distillery. When y'all hit those 10 years and up, there's some people that people cannot compete with what you're putting out.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
It's the young stuff. I understand the bills have to be paid. So some things have to come out. And knowing how that you guys started from humble beginnings and started doing things, I understand the bills have to be paid, but when I'm telling you, when y'all are hitting those age note,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are literally and figuratively killing it on those age note, and there's nothing that can compete with y'all at that time. So for all I know, if you belong to a group, if you are part of any organization that are doing a Kings County pick, if they pick up anything over 6 years, just grab it.
Yeah, that's
Somebody have a 6-year bottle and bond. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's one of those things that I'm telling you right now. You can't buy this at Walmart. It's not possible. I'm telling you right now, I am quite impressed.
Good.
Now that
Thank you.
Your stuff do not taste like the thing, you realize I did not drink this. It just came like that because it spilled all over because the heat was. So now let's try your 8-year-old Castron single barrel whiskey.
Okay.
Now I'm very, very curious because your whiskeys are not drinking at the temperature that they taste like. So look at that. I broke the thing on it. But okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, you see, this is what I'm talking. You see, Now years. You see that's what I was saying. Those 3 years, I don't want to be in kindergarten. I've passed that. Right? We are now in high school. Okay, we're doing the dang thing here. Okay, yeah, yeah. This would literally make you say word to my mother. Like what I'm saying here is like those ripe grapes, right? Ripe.
Mhm.
You can smell those red, almost violet looking grapes.
Mhm.
Re- I'm telling you, it's intoxicating, right?
Yeah.
Intoxicating. Red grapes and a little bit of that marzipan in the back. Man,
Another winner.
you need to have an executive meeting and say, yeah, let's keep all them barrels, let's hold them back.
Well, here's the thing about our, at least here, they are very great for the everybody that we're trying to evolve. So if you're new to whiskey drinking, I mean, we know you like the older ones, but if
No,
you're
but
new to
what I'm
whiskey
telling you
drinking,
right,
it's
what
like
I'm
this is
telling you right now it is so good. It is so good. Like when it is like it literally coats your mouth.
Mhm.
This is my first time trying. I think the one I tried before was 60 something. So this is my first time trying anything over 70 from
Yeah.
y'all.
Mhm.
And it coats your mouth so well. The only distillery that can stand next to this one as close is maybe Beam with Booker's. But this right here, what did that comedian say? This shit right here, this ain't for the kids.
Yeah, no,
This this
we really make beautiful spirits.
this is grown folk business. This is I hate to say it. This like I'm standing here and I'm looking at this. I'm like, no, ain't no way you guys are making something this good.
Yeah. And one of the beautiful whiskey is because we have really great people who work here. We have great
Yeah.
distillers, our blender Ryan and Nathan. They are amazing. They take the craft to a different level of respect I've never seen in person. So Ryan is amazing to learn from. Nathan's amazing to learn from. Colin's great. I love the fact that I can just text Colin like, "Hey, I got a question," and he's very involved with helping us, teaching us. The entire team is amazing. Eileen's amazing. Even our tasting room, we have a beautiful tasting room. So if you ever come, it's literally the castle.
No, I need to
You
make.
got to come up here.
I need to make. I think I need to pick a. I need to pick a barrel
Yes.
from y'all because I am so surprised and so shocked. I'm gonna talk to Sean from 58 and Spirit. I'm gonna talk to Sean Kim, and we've been talking about doing something together for a while. And I think maybe Kings County will be the way to actually do it. I truly believe this will be this. You guys are producing just bangers, and there's no way.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
just like we care about our
telling
whiskey, we do the same for our cocktails. We have a
you,
beautiful tasting room, craft cocktails.
so tell the folks if they want to try your stuff.
Yeah,
I know the first place they can try it at.
yeah,
They need to actually go on your website. It's King County Distillery, you lowly.com. And believe it or not, they have ways where you can shop online.
mm-hmm.
So right now, the Empire Rye is available online. And it's 60.5, and then referring to 60.5 times 2 is 120, 102, and 122. Right, that's the reference, but that's the cask strength. I would tell you right now, 60.5% ABV. This Empire Rye is $99.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, it's worth every single penny for you to actually grab that for yourself. You can add it to cart for the holidays for your rye lovers. Make sure you grab them something nice. It's right here, right there in front of you. Kings County Distillery. If you're watching this or watching the recast, go check the website out. I will tell you right now. For me, Number one on the list right now is that Empire Rye and is available online. Right. How else for people around New York? So New Jersey,
Yeah,
yay. What's around New York again? Vermont. Where else? Who's
yeah,
around
there's
New
a
York?
lot of places that we have locally where you can get like the bourbons and things like that. We can't
Just
do direct shipping, obviously, which sucks. But there are some places, even bars, that hold our products, and there's
no.
ways.
I'm talking about people coming to the distillery.
Oh,
Hours of operation. If you're around the area, we have New Jersey, New Jersey, New York, what do you call it? Vermont? Who's around y'all?
yes,
My
we have everything.
my
Pennsylvania,
geography.
Jersey, anybody in DMV area. We invite everybody to come up and visit.
DMV. Let's say, yeah, you got Washington. Yeah, you got Washington right there. You got
Mhm.
Virginia. You got everybody around there. So
Yeah.
I would tell
So
you right now, want to take a trip for the holidays or
please come see
look
us.
around,
Yeah.
go by their distillery. They're
So
in
our tasting room
Brooklyn.
is open daily, where we have amazing cocktails and amazing people there. The distillery, we do tours during the weekdays and on the weekends. So just don't do tours on Mondays and Tuesdays, but Wednesdays through the rest of Sundays, we are available. All the information for tours or even private events, because our place is beautiful, so we do those too. You can book online.
See,
Mhm.
guess what? Guess what? I'm just telling y'all right now. Kings County deserve your attention as a craft distillery. Craft distilleries don't never get the love that they
Yeah.
deserve, and they're producing things that are amazing. Thinking of your next barrel pick, maybe give them a call and see what they have available there, so you can actually make something happen. Um, Kelsey, I want to thank you for taking your time to come in on the Hood Sommelier channel. Here where the truth is barrel proof. I know, and I tell people all the time, here's the place where we don't bullshit.
Right,
If it's
right.
amazing, we'll say it's amazing. And if it's not your palate, we will advise anybody to actually know that this is not in our palate, but it could be in somebody else's palate. We keep it real around here, but we don't keep it negative. We keep it real, but not negative. So
Mhm.
I want to make sure people understand what the distillery is. We got you to learn a little bit about the history of the distillery, the people behind it. No one makes a distillery; it's the people. Kelsey
Mhm.
is the team, the distilling team, the maturation team, the bar. Everybody is what makes a distillery. If you're in a Brooklyn area, stop by and see them. What would be your last word to the folks? That may be something I did not ask or something people needs to know about your distillery that you want them to know before we close on this.
These are great questions. Thank you. Well, thank you for having me and letting me share about Kings County. But I want people to know that we are really great at listening to consumers. So we do what we do, but you are a part of that as well. So we love to hear back from you. We love to see what you're drinking, what you like, what kind of things. We always care about what our consumers are thinking about drinking and what they would like to see. So come visit us, come to our tasting room, come for a distillery tour. We welcome you. If you're not even drinking whiskey, that's fine. Come here, let us teach you, let us guide you. We are really here to share the world of whiskey.
No, you heard the lady. She just told you this was King County Distillery. This was Miss Kelsey that came here and taught us a little bit about what they have. Amazing expression. I would definitely advise you as you see this rolling, if you're watching the recast, to go on and check out the website. I love this website. It's a beautiful, slick website. Ability to actually buy merch, gift card, for people. So you can even they actually allow you to order to Casker, Swill, Drizzly, and Minibar or GoPuff if you're in the New York area for you to actually grab your bottle right away. You're watching this or watching the recast. Want to get something for your friend? I definitely say my recommendation: Empire Rye. They will not hate it. I promise you. You make Manhattan or have meat, definitely the thing to go. Kelsey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for
Thank you
watching.
so much for
Thank you
having me.
for always supporting the channel, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.